Okay, so we should probably start with the introductions. Jesse, you want to go first? Oh, hey, Nick.
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Jesse Carey Hobbs. I'm the Natural Area Operations Supervisor for Eugene Parks and Open Space. And I'm the City of Eugene's liaison to the CPC. So new members, glad to see some new faces here and looking forward to working with you guys.
I'm Laurel Burke. I'm on the Eugene side. I am the chair of the CPC. Terry, why don't you go next?
I'm Terry Kimball. I'm on the CPC and I'm involved with the Government Relations Subcommittee and Talking Stones.
Fraser?
Hi, everyone. I'm Fraser McDonald. I'm a natural resource planner at Whilamut Park and Recreation District and the Whilamut liaison to the CPC.
Carl?
Hi, I'm Carl Eisenbach, and I'm a brand new member. So I figured the best thing for me to do is to listen.
Welcome.
Yes.
Bill?
Did you say Will or Bill?
Bill.
I'm Bill Maloney. I'm the public representative. I walk in the park, both ends, most days.
Thank you. Ruth?
Hi, I'm Ruth Hyde. I'm from Eugene and I help with the outreach subcommittee. And I'm the secretary.
Meredith?
Hi, everybody. I'm Meredith Jacobson. I'm a new member on the CPC. I live in Eugene. I'm a grad student at U of O. Nice to meet you all.
Welcome. Hey, Will. You?
Hey, everybody. I am Will Orr. I work for Nearby Nature, and I'm the park host at Alton Baker Park.
Nick?
Hi, I'm Nick. On the Eugene side of the board, I am part of the outreach committee.
And Vicky. Uh-oh.
Hey.
I think we might have just lost her.
And I know David's on there somewhere too.
Yeah. David, can you hear me? There she is.
I don't know if you can hear me, but my internet's going weird, so I'm going to stop my video. I'm going to stop my video so that you can't, because I'm wondering if it's my video is taking too much bandwidth. Because I keep getting popped off and back on. I don't know if you can hear me now.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
So I'm going to stop my video, but I'll keep my video, my audio on.
Okay. And David, you want to introduce yourself? David?
David Sonicson, return.
Huh. Well,
technical difficulties.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess we'll have her pitch in when she can. Can you hear us, Vicki?
I can.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on, so I'll just stay on as long as possible.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, did you hear me ID myself?
Yes, I did. I think Vicki cut out.
Did you hear David or did
I did hear David, but we haven't heard you yet.
Okay, so I'm Vicki. I'm from Eugene. I'm the vice chair of the CPC.
Damn.
Wow.
Bummer.
Okay, well, let's go to the icebreaker question. If you guys had a chance to read the agenda, you'll know that the icebreaker question is as follows. Last time you visited the Whilamut Natural Area, did you see an animal you recognized? And if you did, what was it doing? We'll start at the bottom this time. Nick.
There we go. Okay. Last time I was at the natural area, you know, I usually just pass through when I bike, so I don't really have a chance to really like identify animals. But I did see a raccoon in the night. It was pretty cool. I was like biking in the night, and I had my headlights, and then I saw some bright eyes. I was like, oh, maybe it's a cat, and I look at it, it's a raccoon. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah.
Thank you. Hey, Marta.
Hi, I tried the code 3 times and it wouldn't let me in. The 4th time it did, so I am here.
Sorry about that. Well,
That's
why don't you
okay.
we just got done introducing, so why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay. Hi, my name's Marta Clifford. I live in Springfield and I am a member of the Talking Stones Committee. Anything else?
And then the icebreaker question is, the last time you visited the Whilamut Natural Area, did you see an animal you recognized and what was it doing?
I seen an osprey baby. Ooh. And it was making a lot of noise.
That's cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You bet.
Will?
Well, I'm here all the time, so it wasn't the last time I visited the area, but I did find out where the foxes are hanging out this year, and I spotted them playing and sunbathing right on top of their little burrow. So that was pretty cool.
That is cool. Thank you. Vicky, you want to go?
Yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to stay on here. I think I saw an osprey flying along the river, and I just heard him calling. So I'm wondering if they were communicating with a partner or trying to get the young ones to start flying.
Cool. Meredith?
Yeah, not the last time, but several times ago, I saw a bird I didn't recognize and I had to use my Merlin app to identify it, and I ID'd it as a ring-necked pheasant, which was an exciting spotting there. Yeah.
It is, yeah. Thank you. Ruth?
Hi. I bike through the natural area from time to time to appointments, and I'm always thinking I'm seeing ducks, but then I realize when I talk to my more bird savvy friends that it's probably not ducks, it might be loons or it might be grebes, and then there's so many other types of birds that I need to know about. So I'm still learning my loons, grebes and ducks, but the natural area is a great place to do that.
Thank you. Well, Bill.
On the way home this morning, there was a young heron waiting at the dam by I-5 on the canoe canal, waiting for the fishermen to throw a small trout to him, and was very upset when he didn't.
That's funny. Thank you for sharing that. Carl?
Is it my turn?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm a bird watcher because I walk around in the parks, well, especially during winter time. So I see the ducks and the geese all the time. And then the next after that, I see turkey vultures. And of course, there's the osprey and the bald eagle. But there's, you know, it's like, it's all wonderful.
Awesome, thank you. Fraser.
I was out there today looking at some hazard trees, and we got to see a couple mallards hanging out on one of the hazard trees. So they're using it as a in-water or in-stream perch, which don't see very often. So
yeah, cool. Thank you. Terry?
Well, maybe it was Bill's heron, but I saw a heron down by Canoe Canal and it appeared to be fishing.
Jesse?
I think it was a little earlier, kind of late spring, but I saw a hooded merganser in the Canoe Canal.
Nice. That's a good find.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, the last time I was in the Willamette Natural Area, I saw probably the same heron that everybody's talking about, and he was definitely on that Canoe Canal waiting for somebody to give him some free tips. Good. Well, that sounds very inspiring. So yeah, I'm glad everybody's been able to visit and see some things that maybe they wouldn't normally see. Has everybody had a chance on the CPC to review the agenda? Anybody who hasn't, let me know. I'd like to see if there are any adjustments. Does anybody have any adjustments to it? Three, two, one. Okay, no adjustments. Cool. And then we have the minutes. Did everybody read minutes? Able to look at that and see if we have any adjustments there? Terry? Ruth, Meredith, Marta, Nick. Okay. Vicki, how about you? Can you hear us? Or David? Okay, well, if nobody
can hear you. Yeah, I'm trying to get on my. No.
I just heard a little bit
no
of David.
Adjustments.
Okay, no adjustments. All right, can we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move that we approve the minutes.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Okay, Ruth, you got that? Great. All right.
I second that.
Okay, great. Thank you. Minutes approved from April. Thank you. Next is public comment. Bill?
A couple of meetings ago, we had extensive discussions on the e-scooters and e-bikes in the park. In the last, I guess since the last meeting, the e-bikes, not the scooters, but the e-bikes have significantly increased. I'd like the CPC to consider moving ahead with putting up some of the signs that were discussed at that point and trail markings.
Okay. Yeah, we're still in discussion over that with Jesse and some other staff at the city. Jesse, do you have any updates or any new information?
No, I haven't heard anything. I didn't provide an update around it because I didn't get anything back from Rob. I understand that there were some conversations at the Bike Ped Advisory Committee, BPAC folks, but I really haven't heard anything about it. And I know that Vicki attended one of those, at least one of those meetings. So, but yeah, I haven't heard any updates. I'm kind of waiting to hear back about, you know, what's going to happen there.
Yeah, we're still pretty much waiting for a couple of city councilors to get back to us. We've posed a couple of questions about signage, but it's kind of a work in motion. So we're trying to keep people updated, but there just hasn't been a whole lot, like Jesse said.
Yeah, this was originally tied into the e-scooters and the rental program on that, and what's going on in there now is obviously unrelated to the e-scooters. It's just that more and more people are using the e-bikes and they go fast.
Right.
So
yes, we're trying to have a conversation about some possible enforcement issues, but like I say, it's still a work in progress. So we'll keep people updated, but we just haven't heard a whole lot, and people have been super busy. So we've been trying to be patient and just, you know, kind of let things fall as they may. But we'll keep you up to date, Bill.
yeah, I'll keep my comment short today. I will be around if anybody has any questions. Actually traveling a little bit, not in the park every day now, but most days.
Yeah, Bill, and I think if we can get some clear direction around, you know, the content of those signs, I'm more than prepared to produce the signs and get them up in the park. I'm just kind of waiting for a final decision on what they're going to say.
David, go ahead.
If Bill could record and date his observations, that would be very helpful.
Yes, David, to David's point, we've also been asked by Rob Interfeld to record, even if it's an anecdotal, just to get in touch with Jesse or get in touch with Rob or a city council member, whoever you can get in touch with, to let them know of any incidents that you see that you feel need reporting. So that's an open door right now. I would definitely encourage you to contact a council member as well if you feel that it's something that's really, you know, critical. That's what I've been told so far. Anything else?
I guess the other thing I'll mention along those lines is that we did have a report a couple months ago about somebody who was kind of traveling very quickly on Prees Trail in a, you know, one of those one wheels, which are like the single wheeled, however, you know, kind of off-road skateboards.
Oh yeah.
Which, you know, I'm sure that those are fun, but you know, just another kind of e-device out there running around.
Yeah, I've been seeing those too.
Right,
Yeah.
and the signs that say no bikes on Prees Trail, you know, that doesn't seem to, yes.
Yeah, we don't have a park rule.
I guess that wasn't a bicycle; it was just a mono wheel, right?
Yeah, it's a new world. You try to keep up with park rules around these things, right? So
yeah,
now there's one wheels. You got to, you know, add one wheel to the end to the bottom of the sign.
Right.
You just got to update it to say no motorized vehicles on the mulch paths.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or bicycles.
No wheels on the mulch, please.
No wheels.
No wheels. Unless they're wheelchair wheels.
Right.
Okay, anything else, Bill?
I got lots I could talk about, but let's keep it short today.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. What I want to do next is just to welcome our two new members. One of them couldn't be here tonight. Sharon sends her regards. But I'd like to just welcome the new members, Carl and Meredith, and for just a moment, talk about what you're interested in. And I'd like to be able to make some subcommittee assignments tonight. And I understand, Carl, you're interested in government relations, is that right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I know one or two things about government, yeah, so.
Yeah, okay. And are you interested in any of our other subcommittees?
Well, you know, I walk around the park, particularly in winter. I did a lot of walking because of the pandemic. So I don't know, I'm sort of, if you want eyes on the ground sometimes, I can do that.
Okay. I think it would be good to have some eyes on the ground and outreach. How do you feel about that, Ruth? Okay. All right, so why don't we put you in government relations and the outreach committees for now. And if you feel like you can't do that much, just let me know.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Meredith? What strikes your fancy?
Yeah, I'm interested in the Talking Stones committee if there is any need. I was also thinking about outreach, but I don't know if there is a better, I'm happy to do anything where there's need, I guess.
Okay. I would say probably outreach is where we need the most help, or perhaps habitat. And the Talking Stones, we have plenty of members, but there's no reason why you can't serve on that subcommittee if that's what you want. Are you interested in more than one subcommittee, or you just want to stick with one?
Could I like try out doing two, and then if it feels like too much, drop, or is that, yeah?
Sure. Okay. No, that's perfectly, that happens with a lot of our members. So I think that would be a really appropriate thing. So you're interested then in Talking Stones and outreach, is that right?
Yeah, but if the habitat needs more help than Talking Stones, I can, yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, and the other thing is that habitat really crosses over into a lot of the others. That's kind of the nice thing about habitat. Me and Joseph are the only members, and we could really use an extra set of hands. Terry helps out once in a while, but she's more government relations, and so I don't want to spread her too thin. So yeah, if you're interested in habitat, I'd be really grateful to have you at outreach and habitat for now. And if you need to step back from one of them, or if you feel like you need to change over to Talking Stones or government relations, just let me know. And then the other thing is that, you know, again, those cross over a lot. So we could have you working with us on the Talking Stones and habitat at the same time. So yeah. So, all right, that sounds like a plan. Again, welcome. I'm really glad you're here. Do you have any questions, either of you?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. Thanks.
And you can also attend subcommittee meetings at any time. So if you want to attend a government relations committee, if you're interested in that, you can feel free to do that. You don't necessarily have to serve on the committee to come to a meeting. All right, so that's done. Will, do you want to give us the nearby nature report?
Sure. Let's see here.
I think Marta had her. Yep.
Oh, sorry, Marta. What's going on?
That's okay. I just wanted to tell you that I would be interested in also helping on the Habitat Committee.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Along with the Talking Stones.
Yeah, that sounds great. Love to have you join us.
Okay, thank you.
So, yeah, I'll put that I'll put you on the list for that.
Yeah, just shoot me an email and let me know what you need me to do or what the plan is. Okay, thanks. That's it.
Okay, awesome. All right, go ahead, Will.
Okay, it's been a big summer for us. This week especially, we made the decision to take masks off at camp, so fingers crossed. And let's see, we made it through 4th of July without any fires in the park. It's excellent. Illegal camping way down. Graffiti slowed down a bit, still requires attention. We pulled a bunch of nipplewort in Wildflower Hollow. That was really good. New interns coming in. We're losing Nick as a volunteer, very valuable volunteer over the last, over a year now. The garden is awesome right now. It's just exploding with food. 560 enrollments for summer camps. That's a record for us. A lot of exciting projects for the Learnscape, making it more interactive. Nearby Nature partnered with NAACP to organize some events. Yeah, we're still not sure about field trips and after school programs. And NCS students will be back in September. We're excited about that. And that's it.
Great, thank you so much. All right, Jesse, you want to go next?
Sure. So I think you guys all probably saw the update. Let's see, in the last 3 months, we did, some of the basic things we do this time of year, mowing path margins, that kind of stuff, to try to provide fire breaks and vision clearance on the paths through the park. Mowing, weed eating around, mulching around some of the native plantings and trees, including the 13 native shrub pods. Tree and shrub watering is happening. We added some habitat logs in a spot on the prairie, did some work on some dead cedars that are in the Wildflower Hollow area. We're planning on coming back and removing a couple of the trees that are kind of conflicting with the prairie, or the wildflower goals, for the site. Having too much downwood, even though it's nice for habitat, since the site has such a high quality of native understory, it's a bit problematic. So we'll be removing a few of the things. We wanted to wait till wildflowers were senesced, and we weren't going to do much impact there. So that's going to happen a little bit later on. We have, we're continuing this time of year to patrol the site with staff for camping out there to try to reduce impacts to the park on habitat and that sort of thing. We'll be planning the addition of a couple of new planting shrub pods for the fall and winter, and we're hoping to partner with the CPC on that work this winter. So as we move into fall, that'll be definitely on the work plan to be collaborating with the CPC on that. There's a project going on that just started up to replace the failing light poles and infrastructure along Prees Trail, the portion that is not in the Whilamut, that is kind of on the western edge of the Whilamut, near the Cuthbert and that sort of thing. A lot of boring under the trail, that sort of thing, to replace the conduit that's there. Much of the lighting that's there doesn't have, the electrical system is not in conduit. So those lines have failed over the years, and poles, many of the poles had failed over the years. So that work is happening. It's projected to be done by early September. And the trail will remain open during the construction. So if people are out there using the park and they see anything related to the project that they're concerned about, please let me know. I can't be out there all the time, so it's always helpful to have extra eyes out there and make sure that their contractors are doing a good job. We've tried to really limit the impacts to the trail as much as possible, and to reduce the staging locations and that sort of thing, so it's not really happening in sensitive areas in the site. Kelsey Irvine, our volunteer coordinator, provided a long list of projects that are out there kind of on the periphery of the Whilamut or in the Whilamut itself, including some stuff around the Willamette River Festival, Great Willamette Cleanup coming up in October. So there's some good stuff in there if you're curious. And then we had an update from Joe Wexmunsky, our lead park ambassador, who talked about kind of the stuff that we're dealing with along the camping front, and just kind of letting people know where we're at with that. A little change in procedure around the length of advance notice we need to give around camp cleanup across the park system. And so House Bill 3124 is requiring municipalities to give at least 72 hours notice in advance of a camp cleanup. So as I mentioned in there, I think, we've seen a lot less impact in the park system as a result of Washington Jefferson Park and 13th Avenue sanctioned campsites being out there. I think there's now, 260 tent sites that are in Washington Jefferson Park, in case you haven't driven by there. And obviously that's taking a lot of pressure off of our natural area system and my staff, and we're very happy about that. There's a lot of challenges that are coming with those sites. You know, it's reducing the impact on natural area sites, which is really great. But of course, when people set up out there and decide they don't want to be in WJ anymore because it's kind of crazy down there, and they want to head for the river, someplace that's nice and cool and shady, and you know they want to set up a camp along the river, that means that we're having to basically let them stay there for 3 days minimum. So sharing that information with you guys. The other thing I would mention that didn't get in here is that we are getting set to do our canoe canal headgate repair project. Just found out that we're doing a pre-construction meeting is coming up here soon, and that work was scheduled to happen kind of in the next month and a half or so while the water levels are lowest in the canoe canal, and they will be having to divert water, you know, to make sure that there's water still flowing into the canoe canal while they replace the gate mechanism there. But you know, we'll be working closely with Whilamut on that and making sure that we're protecting the resource of the canoe canal while we're helping to modernize that structure so that it's safe and effective for public safety and for staff safety. So excited about that. And then I think Vicki was going to share with you guys, you know, some updates around the community supported shelters campsite there at the Walnut Gate lot 9 area, which we provide a little bit of update around that at Vicki's request. So if anyone has any questions, let me know.
Fraser, I do have, Jesse, I have one question for you. Okay. You were saying that you're taking down some cedar. Are those logs, like how big are those trees?
I'm not sure that I can give you that exact, I can follow up with you, Laurel. Okay.
Can I just tell you why I'm asking real quick?
Yep.
So Lori Holtz and Kelsey and I were talking about the logs around Elu. We're trying to kind of set up some kind of a informal perimeter. And we did get some logs out there, but they're too small and people are actually building a structure with them. And so what I was kind of hoping is maybe if we could get, you know, a couple of those decent sized logs that people can't move if they're big enough, if we could maybe have those come over to Elu, that would be hugely helpful for us.
No, it's very close to there where these logs are at. So yeah, I can look into that and follow up with you on that.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you. And Vicki, do we have you there?
Yes.
Did you want to do the lot 9?
Can you hear me?
Do you want to do the lot 9? Oh, I can hear you. Did you want to do lot 9 now, or do you want to wait until?
Well, I think whichever you want me to do. Because I forwarded Jesse's email to all the members.
Okay.
Had the questions that I had and his response to them.
Yeah.
So
does anybody have any questions for Jesse? Fraser? No? Okay, you want to go next, Fraser, with your report?
Yeah, sure. Hopefully folks had a chance to read ours, mostly just kind of the routine seasonal activities similar to Jesse's group. Couple of things to note that I think are worthwhile. One, our staff is going to be hosting a booth at the Willamette River Festival, and I need to double check the dates, but I believe it is on August 28th that they'll have sort of a community event down across from the new downtown park. And so I'm kind of trying to figure out what activities we'll have at that booth, if we can do a scavenger hunt or something. But I also thought it would be a great opportunity to invite anybody from the CPC, especially the outreach committee, to join us, and we could share a booth or whatever you like and have an opportunity to interact and engage with the community. So if that's of interest, somebody please reach out, or I'll reach out as soon as I'm back at my desk and can pull up all the details, and we can coordinate on that. And along those same lines, Kelsey and the city of Eugene are going to be hosting an event. I'm not sure exactly on their timing, but we are also going to host an activation event and have a service project on the 26th. So it's a Thursday in August, and it'll be from 9 a.m. to noon. And as soon as we have more information, I'll send it out to members. But just to get it on your calendars, that we'll be doing some service projects that day as part of the Willamette River Festival. A couple other things I think that are worth mentioning just while we have everybody here. We are still interested in doing some work to remove the fence that separates the Metropolitan Wastewater Commission's surge basin from the park. And so we'd like to try and start that work this fall. And so again, just to put it out to the committee, if there are any questions or concerns with this work, I know we had brought it to your attention a year or two ago, and I think there was a little bit of apprehension around it, just given the cyclocross races and some of the other activities. But it's another opportunity for us to revisit it. So if folks have concerns or questions, please reach out to me, and we'll be happy to address those. And then lastly, I think we've been getting reports of having issues with cedar trees. We've continued to lose Western red cedars out there. And so we will be doing some work to remove some of those cedars probably within the next year or two, now that we're into a new fiscal year and have a little bit more money in our hazard tree budget. So
nice.
Yeah, Vicky, do you have a question for me?
Yes, I do. Related to the fence.
Yes.
Because I think back when we were, when you first brought that up, I think some of the concerns were, I have concerns if the fence is removed, and I understand there's a lot of invasive species there, but I'm concerned that people that are using the surge basin as, you know, to play with their dogs or ride their bikes around will then find that there is no boundary and create a lot of informal trails going from that area back in. So is there a plan to take the fence out and put it back in to stop to show a delineation of where the Eastgate Woodlands is, and not just take it out and leave it out forever? So I guess if you could be a little more detailed on what the plan possibly would be.
Sure. As of now, there is not any plan to reinstall that fence. I think the fence was historically there to separate the surge basin from the park when it was a more active use, and maybe when the wastewater treatment plant was there. I don't know the full history of that. I certainly recognize your concerns. I don't know that we will be able to abate those. For us, what it comes down to is the fence has really limited our ability to do management in that area. And so I could see it still maintaining a vegetative buffer. You know, it goes from sort of turf grass to a natural area. So I think we could do some vegetation enhancement that would still keep some of that separation. I don't know that we could guard against all of the informal trails. So I think your concerns are legitimate. And I think we would have to sort of use adaptive management, signage, perhaps let vegetation grow back in places to try and maintain that delineation between the two. And again, we're certainly happy to continue not doing anything if that's what folks want. But from our standpoint, all we've seen is that it's continued to degenerate and, harbors invasive and noxious weeds and isn't great habitat, and is potentially a safety hazard in areas. So, we'll wait direction from the committee as to what you'd like to do with that. But in the absence of any direction, we're going to continue to still have some issues there. So
Fraser, is there any, I was thinking.
So who actually owns?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Vicki. Uh-oh, I think we lost her again. Are you there? Fraser, were there any plans to redo that fence once the management? Okay. See, I was under the impression that they were going to put another fence there at some point. No?
No, one, it would just be costly. Two, I think we would end up with the same issue. What we're dealing with is that we have to cross through the natural area to get to that boundary. And
right.
So that means driving equipment and having impacts within the natural area. And I think the thought is, at least with Brett and I and my staff, is that if we were to work from the turf grass in, we could minimize a lot of that damage to the natural area or impacts to the natural area. So, I mean, it's just about allowing us better access to manage it. We have noticed at many of our natural areas that fences really just don't help us in any way do the management that we'd like to do. And so we're often removing them and not putting them back in. So, but I recognize the concerns, and I don't know that, the removal of the fence isn't going to exacerbate some of those concerns. So I'm also happy to leave it. I mean, it's going to cost us time and money, and, we could certainly do other things.
Yeah, it might be nice to do another barrier over there, kind of like you're doing with the boat ramp. Those boulders actually are really, they're pretty effective. So yeah, let's just continue to talk about that and see what we can come up with. Okay. Vicki, are you back on with us? Vicki? Wow.
I am back on with you.
Hey, Terry.
Some issues, but yes, I'm listening.
The other option I would offer is that if folks were open to it, we could try like removing a section and see what the outcome is, if there are issues, and then based on sort of how that test case goes, have a more, evidence-based discussion on whether we'd like to continue that work and whether it was worthwhile. And then, we'd minimize the cost and it'd give us a chance to test it. So we're open to whatever direction. Just share it with us as you feel or see fit.
Yeah, that was one of the things that we have been talking about, and I would suggest as well, is let's do a little pilot stretch. And if we could take out like the most dangerous section first, since the safety of that fence is really becoming an issue, I think it might be wise to try that as our little pilot project.
Okay.
Vicki, are you back? I kind of like to hear
Could you tell me who owns that fence?
Vicki, I'm a little uncertain on the ownership of the fence, but I believe that it is Metropolitan Wastewater Commission's fence.
And what are the dangers that you're seeing with the fence right now?
Terry, there's a few spots where the fence is like the top rail is missing, and last year there was barbed wire at about neck height that was strung across it. And there's also just sections of it that are missing where there is just random barbed wire hanging down.
So the danger of somebody walking in that area getting nailed
potentially.
by barbed wire.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a pretty significant impaling danger, if you ask me.
I shouldn't laugh. That sounds painful.
I know. Right. All right. Vicki, do you have anything else?
So I have.
Oh.
Well, I have just a question of ownership, and I think I got dropped out twice, so I'm not sure if Fraser answered that question.
Yeah,
who owns the fence?
Yeah, it's the water. What was it, Fraser?
It's the Metropolitan Wastewater Commission. That's
okay.
Yeah. Anything else, Vicki or David? Wow, she must be really having troubles. Okay, Fraser, is that it?
That's it.
Okay, does anybody have any questions about Fraser's report? Going once, going twice? Okay. All right, we're next going to the subcommittee reports. I've got the first one listed as Talking Stones, and since Tilka's not here, she asked me to present. I'd also like Marta to chime in since she's probably got something to contribute as well, I assume. So the Talking Stones subcommittee has been pretty busy with some things. We've been in discussion with Fraser about the barriers behind Lock Me, and that discussion's going well. We established that we're going to put the boulders, we've discussed where we're going to put boulders there to prevent people from going behind our native plantings and behind the Talking Stones. Tilka's been out doing the restoration work. She's especially paying attention to Ghani. It really needed some updating. It was really getting full of graffiti that has been a real challenge to remove. And then Haidua, which was tagged again recently. Terry and I went out, well, actually I went out first to try and get it off and was unsuccessful. My second attempt was more successful, but it was not the best outcome because now it looks scrubbed again, which is not what we want. Tilka was out there. She hasn't finished up her restoration work on that one or on Ghani yet, but she will when she gets back. Ghani is looking really good now, so I'm really pleased with that. Have you been out, Marta, to see it?
I have not. I've been out of town for like 3 weeks, so
yeah.
I have not been out there.
And then Kelsey Irvine has requested that we assist with a camp event with the Sheldon Youth Group. I did talk with Esther to find out if she had any suggestions. Perhaps there might have been someone from Comema or somebody else who might be interested in that activity. The Talking Stone subcommittee can do, Ray Cole is the one in charge of the Sheldon Youth Group. And for those of you who are not familiar, this is a high school youth group that is doing day camps with younger kids, and they're really interested in the Talking Stones, and so they want someone who knows about the Talking Stones to come and just give them a little talk or a tour, and they would like to adopt some Talking Stones to maintain, which I think is a really, really great opportunity for us to educate some youth about the Kalapuya and what the Talking Stones are really all about.
Do you want, sorry, did you want me to talk with Esther some more about that and I could do that?
She told me that she really doesn't have the resources right now.
Right. See, that's why her and I have talked a lot and she can't get around like she used to. And so that's why she asked me to do the tours and the videos and stuff like I'm going to do with Fraser. And I would love to work with the Sheldon Youth Group. I just need to kind of be able to coordinate it so that I know a time frame and how much time it will take me to do something like that.
Right, yeah, I'm still in conversation with Ray Cole. I talked with him today and he's pretty excited about having someone from the CPC come and meet the kids. Esther said she was fine with me doing it since we had put out a request, and I think people are just so busy that they really haven't had a chance to get to it. And with Esther saying she doesn't have the resources either here or even from Comema, I did offer to do that, and she said that would be great. So I'll coordinate that with you more, Marta. we'll get together on that one. And
Yeah,
I think
maybe
Carrie
we could
is also
even,
interested in that.
yeah, maybe we could just like do it together, tag team or something. That would be
Yeah,
great.
that'd be good because they're in camp for all of August. So,
Oh, wow.
so it's a day camp for the entire month of August.
So you were asking if I'm interested, and I definitely am. I'd love to coordinate on that.
Yeah.
It'd be a learning process for me. I don't feel really competent to talk about the stones yet, but I'd love to gain that competency.
Yeah, that sounds
I would
good.
have to coordinate around the River Festival. I'm doing 2 tours for that. So
right. And actually, Ray is saying that he would love to get together and coordinate that with you as well. They're really interested in the Riverfest. So I think we could probably dovetail a lot of these same things in together. I think it'll work out well. So let's stay in touch, Marta, and
okay,
and just make it happen.
Okay, sounds
All
good.
right, and go ahead.
I'm good.
Okay. And then let's see. Oh, preparations for the brochure. I think I might want to hand that over to you, Marta. Can you give us a little update on that?
We have been working on the language of the brochure. I did speak with Esther quite lengthy about that. And, you know, she said that she would like to use some of the language that David has written a lot about the Kalapuya people. And she said, she basically told me David is the language man, you know, and she tells us stories. So we're working on coordinating all that, and with is it Lisa Ponder that and we put the word out to her. We want some of her words in there too, in the brochure, you know, about it. So I think it's not going to be lengthy as far as wording. We would like to have a lot of pictures, and we got to coordinate that too. Who's going to, you know, which pictures? I don't know if we can, you know, showcase all of them, but Ilalu needs to be in there for sure.
Yeah, so, for sure.
Yeah, so it's in the works. It is a challenge when there's a lot of people working on one project, but it's coming along. So I did turn a lot of it, you know, I picked Esther's brain a lot.
I'm so excited you guys are doing this. This is really cool.
Me too.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to see this brochure get
well,
updated.
Esther's very excited too. And
good.
Also I wanted to fill you in, Laurel, that for the River Festival, we're getting a golf cart so that I can take Esther with me.
Ooh.
So because, you know, she feels bad and that she can't walk around like she used to. And someday I won't be able to walk around like that either. And I hope somebody gets me a golf cart.
Yeah.
So that is going to be one of the things. And hopefully she'll be very happy about that.
That'll be a real highlight because, you know, we've run that around the course a couple of years in a row now, and it's never really come to fruition. So I'm really excited to have that happen.
Right. Well, there's some funding in the River Festival that, you know, they're able to do to help us, and you know, so that's really a good thing.
Yay. Good. And so when will you have the language? Do you plan to bring that to the Talking Stone subcommittee?
Yes, I think that we're talking like in a couple weeks. We would like to have it finalized. So hopefully that's the goal.
Okay.
I want to make sure that everybody, you know, has a chance to look at it and read through it, and because it is for the general public, and so it has to be in language that everybody can, you know, understand and know where it's coming from, as far as we just don't want it like, you know, technical stuff and like that, but it has to be very for the general public, I guess is where I'm going with it. We want it to be something that's easy to read for kids too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we want to involve all the children. That's very important to me for all the tours I do.
Great.
So we're working on it.
Okay. All right, that's all I have.
Okay.
Anything else, Marta, you can think of?
No, that's it for me.
Okay. All right, government relations, Vicki.
David has a question.
Oh,
David has a question about Talking Stones.
So when you said David, did you mean David Lewis?
Yes, David Lewis. Sorry, I didn't say his last name. David Lewis and Esther have worked together for many, many, many years. In fact, she calls him her adopted child. And so she's very confident in everything he does and in his, his words is what she said. So that's important to me that she wanted him to be involved.
Vicki, anything else?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Martha.
No, but maybe I should talk fast in case my internet goes down again.
I think so.
Thanks, Martha. Yeah, I think we just talking. Yeah. Government relations. We just have worked on 3 different things, mostly trying to prepare ourselves if there is a work session related to the e-scooters. Since the CPC has passed a motion to support the park plan. So hearing from Rob Interfelt, there's no work sessions scheduled yet, and he doesn't know when that might happen. So we're still just being prepared for that. The second thing we were working on is just looking through the various IGAs to get a better sense of the breadth of the CPC and how it interacts with all.
Sound?
Lost her again. I think I can finish that thought. Oh, here she comes. You there, Vicki?
I just came back. Yeah.
Okay.
And so the last thing I wanted to just cover quickly, I sent out a forward. It's getting unstable. Move forward with trying to see if we could reduce the size of this huge electric box that's right at kitty corner to the off-leash dog park. It's leaning, and I took a couple of pictures and sent it out. So I guess I would, I think David had talked with Philip Richardson and is still waiting to hear back, but we'd like to be able to see if that could be a lot less obtrusive and not such a big target for graffiti. There's a way of reducing it. I believe we found out that the city of Eugene owns it.
On that subject, I believe, and I need to, I'll confirm this, but I believe that they were trying to fold that into the Pre's trail lighting contract, since we have an electrician doing so much work there, that they were going to try to get the box fixed. But I can follow up and try to get you guys an answer about whether that's happening or not.
That would be good. Yeah, we've kind of been.
So when you say the box fixed, does that mean to?
I can confirm what exactly will happen with it. I heard discussion about, just trying to get it straightened and so it's not leaning and such. But I may be wrong. They may be doing more with it.
Yeah, they're probably going to have to, Jesse, because it's getting to the point where it's getting dangerous. It's getting undercut from erosion, and it's leaning so much on its foundations that it's eventually just going to topple. So I really don't know if fixing that's even going to be feasible. I think it would probably be in the city's best interest to just, you know, out and out replace it, because, you know, it's without that high profile, it will have less tendency to topple over. It's obviously an erosion problem because there's water that undercuts there.
Okay.
Vicki, are you still with us?
I came back. I don't know how long I'll be here.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I did finish the thought on the electrical box. Is there anything else you can think of? You or Dave?
No, that's basically what we've been working on and haven't, we're still.
I lost her again. Wow, poor Vicky. All right, I'm gonna move to Habitat. If she pops in again, we'll just ask again. The Habitat Committee, it's been mainly Terry and myself. Joseph's been out of town a lot this summer, so we've been doing the only habitat work, which honestly hasn't been that much lately. We're trying to water and maintain some of the new plantings. We've touched base with Fraser pretty often, and we've had Fraser and I have had some really good conversations around the restoration activities in Eastgate. And they finished the placement of the boulders and the boat ramp. And so this started a discussion about boulders around Lockme to keep those native plantings from being trampled. So that's still a work in progress. We are gonna work this fall probably to start restoring some native plants near where the new bench is, as well as where one of the older benches are. And so that we're just right now working to figure out what the best species are for the areas. And of course, we've been talking about effective management techniques for the invasive removals, and that's just kind of an ongoing thing. And then the kiosk is not finalized, it's close. We found a couple of errors and Fraser's gonna fix those as he mentioned. So that should be up and running soon. It looks really beautiful. So thank you, Whilamut. And then we already talked about the logs by ELU. So Jesse, I'll look for further information about that if, you know, when you get it. Any questions for me on habitat? Going once, going twice. All right, let's move on to outreach. Ruth?
Say it again.
Oh, there you are.
David has a question, just a minute.
Can you hear me, Laurel?
I can. Go.
Oh man, I'm gonna hang up.
Yes, she can hear you.
I can hear you, David.
I have a question about ELU.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know if everybody knows where this talking stone is. It's very prominent. It's just to the northeast of the Frohnmeyer footbridge, and there are two benches by it. I know you know all this. It's highly trafficked, and it looks very barren around a beautiful stone. And I really commend you for wanting to put a barrier up, and I also know put some native plants in there to make the stone a little.
Oh, wow.
Laurel, you know that we know what he's saying.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about it, and
yeah.
The issue that I think we had, hopefully David can hear us, that the big tree that's over top of it, makes it very hard to find something that will grow under that tree. but I agree that, you know, it is pretty barren there.
Yeah.
But that's one of the reasons why I want to be on the Habitat Committee, to help you with that.
Yeah, and Lori Holtz and Kelsey and I are working together, and we'll start getting you in that loop, Marta.
Okay.
And we're talking about what plants will be appropriate. I've asked Esther if she has any preferences, if there's like a food plant that she wants there, or, you know, what it would be the most appropriate culturally as well as environmentally. So we'll put you in the loop for all those conversations.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Does that answer your question, David? Or was there a question?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm fine with it.
Okay, good. All right. Ruth.
Hi, folks. And
Hey.
you can jump in and help me out as you see fit. Outreach, very short amount of notes for the summer, in that not a lot is happening on our Facebook page. If you are a Facebook user, please go on and like on the page and even share an update. Nick can post or reshare things. He's the admin of that Facebook page. And I would just say that, you know, being the pandemic, we haven't had all that many physical outreach opportunities. We're looking forward to Fraser. That's a great option to help out with the Willamette at the end of August, and potentially Riverfest too. I saw Sam on the call, so maybe there's some Riverfest updates. But just asking for, you know, the contributions and ideas from the whole CPC. It would be problematic if Nick and I just stewarded the whole outreach online and were the representatives of what you all wanted to say and get the message out. So we need the contributions, the digital updates and all of those sorts of things that depend on hearing from the subcommittees and getting that channel flowing. Also great, Marta, to hear that the brochure's coming along, because that's going to be an awesome thing to get digitized and get the message out to people. Are using the natural area. I see plenty of people just wandering through, and wouldn't it be great if we could help them learn more about those talking stones and enhance their experience. But any questions for me, I'm happy to answer. Nick, if you have anything else to add.
Yeah, and if you all have any kind of media, pictures, videos, any kind of information you'd want to share, you know, feel free to. You could either email Ruth and I, or if you have access to the Facebook page, you could post it on there.
Nick, can you give us the Facebook page address?
Yeah, I'll just link it right now.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And of course, I can't give out the password, so I'll do that. It will, when requested, I can do that. And the Facebook page is right over. I'll put the link in the chat.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, can you send it by email to all of the members so that we have it just?
It's in the Talking Stone. It's in the outreach notes.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, it's right there listed. And we can take ideas from month to month. Beth offered for Nearby Nature to help us with posts too. And I really like the idea of Nearby Nature being a partner with our social media, because they already have a good platform of folks who interact with and you know, other audience for this exact type of thing. So we could post and she could share, or she could post and we could share. Like, that's how we get this stuff going. Currently we have 2 or 3 likes on our page, and that's simply not enough to be social on social media. And Willamette too, Fraser. I think you sent me an email a couple of months back about that. But we just need to get this going within our subcommittees and within our inside of our CPC, and then we can start messaging out to the public.
Yeah, Ruth, I encourage you to do the Nearby Nature collaboration. I think it's a really, really good springboard. And so I'm hoping that we can just share back and forth and get that moving.
It also
Any
seems
questions?
like just want to say one more thing. It seems like Beth has a lot of pre-written information already for her Nearby Nature Facebook page. maybe that could also be of interest for our Facebook page as well.
I will be sure to pass this on to Beth. I know some previous conversations have been had about this, and I'll make sure to pass all of this on.
Thanks, Will.
Thank you, Will.
Great. Yeah.
Thanks, you guys. All right. And then I want to hear from Sam. Are you with us, Sam? It's your opportunity to plug the Riverfest. Sam, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, sure can.
I'm actually over in the Willamette right now.
Nice.
We're running a kayak trip, and I'm running shuttle for them. It's funny, I just rode past Iliu as you all were talking about it. So
awesome.
Thanks. I'll be quick. Marta already touched on a couple pieces. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Sam. I am one of the co-founders of the Willamette River Festival, which this year will be happening August 21st through 28th. And the Whilamut CPC has been a big part of the festival in the development originally and meeting with Esther. Really, we've worked hard to promote and put Indigenous people in the forefront of the festival. And it's been really great each year seeing this grow, including this year. So you've heard a couple pieces from Marta. Marta is one of our lead Indigenous advisors and corralling other Indigenous folks to participate. So we've been struggling with COVID, as you can all imagine, and we're moving more towards in-person activities in August, but some things are still going to be online, and will probably be next year will be a full-on in-person festival. So August 21st, the festival starts. It's going to go for a week, August 21st to 28th. And the last day will be sort of the big activation day on several nodes of the festival. Some things will be happening all during the week, including canoe rentals in the canoe canal. We're doing a lot more watershed education and activities, including bioblitzes through iNaturalist, and there'll be several activities there. We'll be doing a river cleanup. We're doing a lot of connection with the City of Eugene and Willamette Lane. Fraser is a big part of the core member also, core group as well. The festival starts on the 21st. And each day we'll have different videos launching different aspects of the festival. And this year it'll be the opening ceremony will be on that Saturday. It'll be a video, unfortunately, with Esther and her family. We will have several events happening each day. The activity list is not updated yet, but on Sunday, Marta, you're doing your first tour on Sunday. Is that accurate?
It's the 21st. I don't have my calendar.
Saturday. Okay, Saturday is the 21st. So what
21st
days are you doing?
Is Eugene, and 22nd is Springfield, or I could have them opposite. It's all in my calendar.
Great. So that's awesome. Saturday and Sunday, the beginning. And you already heard that piece of it. Somebody is going with Michelle. Who's doing that from the CPC down the Canoe Canal on one of the days? That wasn't me, but somebody. Michelle is the director of the festival from the Watershed,
Watershed
River
Council.
Keeper?
Yep.
No, the River Keepers.
Oh, River Keeper, yeah.
Who's going with Michelle down there on Monday? No? No one? So maybe that's an idea. And she was hoping to get someone from the CPC to join. I thought someone had talked to her about that, but it sounds like no. So Sunday, there'll be a guided downstream canoe canal paddle with the Riverkeeper. And I thought someone from the CPC, but that's okay. Tuesday, we're doing stormwater art installation, upstream, Trashy Tuesday, like I mentioned. There'll be City of Eugene is doing adaptive paddling. And we're also doing a tour with the Metropolitan Wastewater Management Commission. Wednesday, we'll be launching the mussels, freshwater mussels of the Willamette River, and starting the BioBlitz piece. And on Wednesday, I'm leading a race tour for those folks that want to do the race route, which starts in the duck pond and goes up the canoe canal and then down the river. We also have some restoration projects happening that day, and also the U of A outdoor program is leading inflatable kayak trips that day. Thursday, there's lots of camps that are happening throughout that week. I forgot to mention Sheldon, as you heard about, is doing a camp. River House is doing camp. More wastewater on that day, wastewater tours. On Friday, we're doing paddling 101, snorkeling in the river. And again, BioBlitz down the canoe canal that day. There'll be a river safety skills day as well. And then Saturday, there'll be a lot of stuff happening. There may be something happening at the Riverfront Park, but that's tentative right now. Mackenzie River Trust is involved this year in doing activities down in Green Island on that day. The Native Plant Nursery, we're having an ethnobotany workshop with Stephanie Craig, who is Kalapuya, as well as other tribal identities, and the City of Eugene Native Plant Nursery right next to Nearby Nature there. Cascadia Way will be doing a tour of the proposed Whitewater Park, which I don't know how you all feel about that, but I don't know, that's something we should probably discuss at some point in the future, because really the access for that will be in the Willamette Natural Area, and I don't know if we consider the river part of the natural area or not, but anyways, that will be happening on that Saturday. The River House is doing paddle demonstration, a bunch of paddling equipment for people to use down at the River House Eddy, and down at the Owasso Bridge, there'll be another wastewater Lane Metropolitan education booth happening. And that will be the last day of the race, the Paddlecross Challenge. And that day from 12 to 3, there will be river safety support on the river for those folks that want to do it with safety support in case they're worried about the rapids and such. So that's a quick intro to the River Festival and where we're at. Totally open to talk more or answer any questions if you have them.
That's a lot going on, Sam.
Yeah. Hey, Sam, I wonder if can you send us like an email or something that lists those activities so we can start spreading the word?
Yeah, definitely. You know, Michelle is working with the City of Eugene, who is running our website now for the festival. So I don't have direct involvement, but the festival website is, it's been a little slow in getting them up. So if you go to the activities page right now, it's not actually current, but I will give you that link as well as the more updated activity list. I just want to confirm with Michelle yet before I let too many people know about the events that are happening. But okay, I'll definitely do that.
Okay, thank you.
And we have a meeting Friday morning, right?
Yes, I believe it's Friday. The other piece is that, you know, the you folks, some of you new folks may not have never even been, but lots of folks in the committee here have been involved for years in the festival, going and doing different parts. And we're really waiting to have booths come back and have a central gathering area to have a lot of information, but there are booths happening now at different spots. And in fact, you know, the D Street or Aston Street boat ramp is going to be a bit of an activation point. So if the CPC wanted to have an information booth, outreach committee, for example, that would be a good day, the Saturday the 28th, to be set up there at the boat ramp, you know, with information, because there's going to be at least 2 other booths happening there as well that day.
That sounds good. Anything else?
It's going to be a jam-packed week. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, I will. I didn't mention Gudakut will be back. The canoe, the Kalapuya canoe will be back. And we're also really trying to highlight the canoe panel more under I-5 Bridge. Yes. In fact, they're going to do an interview with Susan Applegate, the artist, and with Esther about that project. And for years, we tried to elevate that piece. And we use it as the festival like logo on our shirt. And we're doing that again this year. But there's sort of movement about maybe getting some informational panel about that artwork at the panel at some point. So that'll be a larger conversation for us to have too. I've talked about it before, of course, but just that's swirling around the River Festival too, just so people know and are aware of that.
Okay.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Vicki.
I'm wondering, Jesse was saying a couple of weeks I thought they were going to start on changing stuff with the dam part along the canoe canal. Is that going to have an impact for the River Festival if there's going to be a race going along the canoe canal?
I haven't heard any info about that. Yeah, it sounds like it would. River flows have always been an issue for us, and there's been quite a bit of conflict with the first couple of years with property owners there because we were working with, I forget his name now, the guy in charge of the flow with the city there. But they actually were trying some higher flows, and the folks that have infrastructure down in the creek were not happy about it. And with really low flows, like people on stand-up paddleboards often catch and fall. So it becomes a bit of a safety hazard with extreme low flows. Yeah, no, I haven't heard about work on the dam. Look forward to hearing more about that though.
Yeah, Jesse, I had the same thought when you were talking about those dates. Is it going to conflict with the Riverfest?
Well, I think the goal is to keep flows what they're currently at, but we'll definitely be talking more about that, making sure that we're not going to conflict.
Okay.
Sorry, I missed the first part of the meeting. Can you just tell me the dates and what dams you're working on?
So I know that you've been in the CPC for a while. We've been talking about this issue for a couple of years now, where we're replacing the guts of the canoe canal head gate. So it's the entire structure that controls flows for the canoe canal. And that project has been, you know, we spent spring of 2020 doing early spring doing some investigation of that structure, and then came up with a report on it. This has led to the kind of a major repair of this structure, which of course is scheduled for the lowest flows in the canoe canal, which is this time of year, this coming up in the next couple of weeks. But we'll definitely be working with our consultants and try to make sure that we're not going to conflict with the project or with the festival. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I saw some folks up there yesterday. They looked like they were cleaning it out or something. Maybe they were getting ready to do that. Are you going to cut off flow during that project?
We can't do that.
Okay, right.
I mean, that would strand fish. You know, we're not. You know, you can't just like dry up a tributary of the river. So that's a big deal. We wouldn't do that. But you know, that said, you know, to say that there might not be any effect at all during the course of this project is you know, is a stretch. We're going to do our best. So at the, you know, bottom line is we'll make sure that during the period of time for the festival that we're maintaining optimal flows for that event.
Thanks. That's great.
Yeah.
And thanks for your work on that piece.
Yep.
Okay, anything else? Anybody? All right, I'd like to wrap things up a little bit since we're kind of at the end of our agenda. I think what we might want to do is just review what types of things we're going to be acting on before our next quarterly meeting. It sounds like we've got the brochure happening. We have several things going on with the Talking Stones and with Habitat, and government relations is an ongoing discussion regarding the e-scooter issue and our committee's designation. So we'll keep that in mind. And then I am putting out the word, I would like to have some volunteers to help look at our bylaws. We're going to be reviewing our bylaws coming up pretty soon here, and there's a couple of changes we'd like to make our committee a little bit more effective. So I'd appreciate anybody who is interested to email or call me and let me know what they have for resources to contribute to that effort. So that's all I have. Does anybody have any other things that we've forgotten or any questions last minute?
I do have a question. I'm wondering if, and it'd be related to both parks departments. I'm wondering if in October, when our next meeting is, if what is the sense of the CPC to have an in-person meeting if things are going well and the state is opened up and the pandemic is not so bad.
So I think the city of Eugene is.
I would be in favor of an in-person meeting, so I'm wondering if there's others.
The city of Eugene is amenable to the conversation. The fall meeting would be at Whilamut if that were to happen. So I think that's a question directly for Whilamut.
Or Chris.
Chris, yeah.
I am not prepared to speak on behalf of the district, but Whilamut has moved back to in-person meetings. And so if you're asking, I don't have a vote on this committee, but if you are asking for my opinion, I would prefer to attend an in-person meeting as well.
Fraser, care to chime?
Vicki, I would be happy to try and see what I can do to reserve the Adult Activities Center for our October meeting.
Yay. That would be awesome, Fraser.
That'd be great.
You, Chris. Anything else, guys? Going once, going twice. All right. Can we get the next meeting date selected? I am going to vote for October 28th. That's a Thursday. It's the last Thursday of the month.
Oh. Can we do it the week before that? The 21st?
You know, I kind of am favoring that last week myself.
Would it be the same time from 5:30 to 7:30?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good day for me. But if everybody else would, I couldn't make it.
I can't make Thursdays in October.
Which days, Ruth?
The museum's open till 8 p.m. on Thursdays, so no Thursdays.
Okay.
How about a Wednesday?
Well, I mean,
27th.
In all honesty, we switched it to Wednesdays, and the people attending has actually gone down since we did that. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. I'm pretty flexible. I mean, I can do Wednesday. I prefer Thursday, but do we want to, what's your schedule like, Marta?
Wednesday or Thursday is fine with me. I'm fine with either one of those days in October.
Okay. Nick?
Well, I'm pretty flexible after 5. I wouldn't be able to do anything before then.
Me too.
Okay. Meredith?
I think on Wednesdays I will have something till 5:30, but I could come just a little bit late. Thursday's a little better, but yeah.
Okay. Sam, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah, hard to say at this point. It all depends on what trips are scheduled. Like this meeting was fine until like last week when my students scheduled the trip for this time. So count me in and I'll do what I can do.
Okay. Vicki, you said you're not available that Thursday?
Right. The 27th is good that Wednesday. But
okay. All right. Well, we don't have oh, Carl, how's your availability?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. Everything is fine. I'm retired. My time is your time.
Okay. Ooh, be careful what you say now. All right.
David, do you have a preference? David, are you there? David?
He might have given up.
I thought David was here. But...
Well, I say let's go with Wednesday, October 27th at 5:30.
David?
Are you good with that, Fraser?
Thank you.
It doesn't work great for me, but whatever. We'll do what we can. I'm missing other board meetings to join you, so I'll get it scheduled at WAC.
Is Thursday better?
It doesn't matter to me. We'll be able to staff it regardless. It's up to the committee to decide.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, Wednesday, October 27th at 5:30 it is. Mark your calendars, folks. All right. If we don't have anything else, I would suggest that we adjourn unless anybody has any more questions or comments.
Just have a comment. I'm just going to be putting the Whilamut email just in the chat here, just for outreach purposes.
Great. Yeah. Thank you. And I got the Facebook link too, so I'm going to just put that out on general email for people to reference. Anything else, guys? All right, looking for a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
It's Vicki.
And I'll second.
Okay, Ruth seconds. So we are officially adjourned at 7:05. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Fraser. Thank you, Jesse, for hosting. Thank you so much, Chris, for coming in late. We appreciate you. All right, have a good one, everyone. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.